Hello, 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 hello. My name is Ati and I'm 30 years old. Welcome to the Feel Good live sessions of being educated about debt counseling. Scratch that. Hi guys, I hope you're right. I'm just checking. I need to just make sure that the camera is positioned right. You're going to sharp. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite YouTuber in the house, Ndingo Ati Unati Mdingi, and thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, in 2023, and this is actually my first video for the year. Happy New Year, compliments to the new season, and I do hope anyway, ndiyathemba intoba ningene kakuhle kulo nyaka. Let me talk a little bit about this is not the point of this video, but I just do want to say welcome to the new subscribers on this channel. Welcome, honey. I hope that you enjoy your time with me. And one fact about me, I'm very authentic. I'm a very authentic person. I don't believe in being fake or sugarcoating things, and I'm very direct, guys. So one of the things that came to me, or one of the things that I do know truly about myself, is that I'm very good at speech. I'm good at speech and I enjoy doing it. I love educating people, and one of my passions is to educate people and share information. I've worked in the debt counseling industry now for about 4 years. So I'm here to share my expertise about debt review, because I've realized that South Africa, especially abamnyama, that still lack information about the process of debt counseling. There's so many people in South Africa, especially Black people, who still don't have a full picture or an understanding of what debt review actually is, what it does, how it works, and what the benefits are thereof. So on today's video, I will be addressing a few points about debt counseling. We're going to be talking about the big elephant in the room, which is being blacklisted. We're going to talk about being blacklisted. We are going to discuss what debt review is, what is the process of debt review, what people qualify for debt review, how long debt review takes you, and eventually how do you exit the process or get your name cleared. So those are the things that we are going to be discussing, or I am rather going to be discussing today in this video. And from serious it took me a while to actually start recording, because I contemplate and I'm overthinking it. I'm a perfectionist, guys, and and so the whole idea behind this, so I've been wanting to actually explore a different segment on my channel, because you guys have probably noticed that I've been vlogging a lot. So I've been sharing mostly lifestyle and vlogs. And what I'm actually good at is educating, or rather, I'm good with speech, like I mentioned. But one of the things that I really am passionate about is to educate people. And I just love talking to people and educating them. So I'm going to be focusing on a few points in this video. Like guys, I speak a lot. So if I'm not pointers for this video, I feel like okay, so this is what I want to discuss, or rather educate about namhlanje. I thought, hey, I need to jot down some points, know exactly what I want to tackle, because I know that I can go overboard and I can talk non-stop. Anyway, so decided January, what better month is there than to discuss finances, to set the tone for unyaka wako. Personally, I know that I've been very bad with managing my personal finances, and working in this industry has opened my eyes, and it has made me realize that it plays a huge part in our economy. It affects our economy in such a huge way that credit, it plays a huge part, guys, in our economy. It affects our economy in so many different ways. When interest rates, and the fact is, about South Africa, really, they are struggling to keep up with payments. However, it's a serious issue that credit providers still continue to lend people money, even because, guys, anyway, we'll get into all of that. Please stay tuned, and I really hope that you enjoy this video. To the returning subscribers, welcome home, honey. And I really want to say that I appreciate your support. The goal this year is to be more educational on this channel, to have more conversations on this channel. And please, by all means, feel free to drop your comments in the comment section down below. Ask questions, let's engage. Need to mention something, right? Last weekend, and they say, oh, biscuit meal. No best uthando, my male best friend. So kukho cherry that I once met at Casa. She's colored, and we recently started following each other on Instagram. I think this following happened in Galemini as an biscuit meal, right? So Tracy last weekend, we bump into each other, then we start chatting. And then she's like, I was actually going through your Instagram, and I saw a link on your profile. So I decided to click on the link. So a link to my YouTube channel. Oh, I'm a YouTuber actually. So la link is my YouTube channel. As what again, yes, I actually discovered, I realized Indoba it's directing me to your YouTube. So as well, nika ke feedback. I watched some of your videos, and I can see we have vlogger kakhulu, but there's this particular video that I watched about network marketing and whatnot. She did comment though on the fact that the video was quite long, considering that and I require attention, your audience, or to be listened to rather. So I do appreciate the feedback, yeah, because I did feel that maybe 45 minutes is really long. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Is it too long for you to listen to or to focus 45 minutes? Because I do believe that a concentration span, at least it should be about 40 minutes, right? On average, I think it should be about 40 to 45 minutes anyway. But again, nonetheless, that's not the only feedback she gave me. Besides the fact that, yes, it was engaging, and it was, besides the fact that she mentioned something very powerful, or rather maybe not powerful, but that I took to heart, because unkumbuzenge strength, that a strength of mine that I'm aware of. Because she was like, the thing about wena is that uyamameleka xa uthetha, uyabo, and I wish that you could give us more of that as opposed to more of vlogs or lifestyle vlogging. Ingase usinike more content where you are actually talking and speaking to us, because ivoice yakho inala command, ukubone njengoba nsitsho uyamameleka. And I know that I can be quite articulate with my words. I try my best to be, because it's the way that I present myself and the way that I want people to receive me as well. Because I don't take irrespect very lightly. In fact, irrespect is one of my values. So, indlela that I carry myself, the way that I address abantu, yes, I can be silly. I mean, just like everyone else. And this oba boxed into one thing. I'm a human being. I evolve. So I have many dynamics and, that make who I am. But that is not the point. The point is I decided, because of la feedback, you know what? I actually do need to speak more. I do need to have more conversations. And guys, like I say, I would love to see some engagement on the conversations that I plan to have, and even on this one, I would love to see more feedback from you guys as my subscribers. You guys are my community, growth yam, just as much as I am here to offer what I am and what God wants me to offer to the world, So I took a feedback here, and I decided, you know what? there's a topic that I've been meaning to actually discuss with my people for a very long time, which is debt review, and that's what we are discussing now. So, what do they call this? What's the word I'm looking for? Criticism, but in a positive way of. In a nutshell, ndizama ukuthi ndicela nindiphe i-feedback. Please do give me feedback on i-channel yam. Give me feedback on i-content endininika yona. What changes would you love to see? Because again, nam ndingumntu ndiyafunda. I am learning as I go along. Kwalendo ka YouTube, it was never really a plan to be a YouTuber or to start a YouTube channel. It was just my friends who were just like, hey, just hop on it. And I'm ndazibona sendilapha ke kule community. But I am enjoying this community so far. I just needed to share with y'all about what got me to decide that, you know what, I do need to take action and actually explore a different segment on my channel, like as I've been planning to do last year. So kulonyaka, hopefully I do want to stay the course, and I look forward to growth with Nina on this channel for 2023. I look forward to more subscribers. Please guys, please do support me. Growth yam namge. It is my responsibility to hold myself accountable and to deliver. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope that you do like, comment, and I hope you will share with your people as well. If you need any advice on debt review, or if there's anything you want to discuss that is debt review related, have every family or friends that may need my my opinion rather, or my expertise or my advice, please don't hesitate to just drop a comment down below. I'll be very happy to share my email address with you, or even my Facebook, so that you can inbox me. Actually, I'll drop my Facebook link down below, so that you can inbox me anytime you have questions, or if maybe you are someone that actually needs help. I am a professional, guys, and I am a very ethical person, so I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I'm just not one of those debt counselors. Besides being a debt counselor, I am just not authentic. I don't believe in bullshitting people, because I don't want the wheel to come back to me one day, which is why I choose to be that person. So yes, I am ethical in the way that I do my work. Yes, and I mean, I know this process from the back of my mind. I may not be an expert on expert level, but at least I have enough knowledge to be able to help someone to getting to a point of a clearance certificate, as I have done for 300 other South Africans. So right, so let's address the elephant in the room: being blacklisted. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room real quick. I just need to make sure my camera. Let's address the elephant in the room. So a lot of people assume that being under debt counseling means you are blacklisted. No, that's not what it means. So is debt review blacklisted really? I think that's the main question most people have. Just to be clear, you are not blacklisted when you apply for debt review, guys. You are not blacklisted. Once you apply for debt review, the debt counselor registers you on the National Credit Regulator Debt Help System, which in turn informs all the credit bureaus that you've applied for the debt counseling process. And therefore, this is something that will be showing on your credit profile, because it will be noted on your credit profile once you apply for the process. Remember, it's a legal agreement that you are entering. So once that legal agreement has been entered into, there'll be a note on your credit profile, basically, just to display. So let's understand one thing. If you are someone that is not paying your accounts regularly, meaning you have to pay your debt usually on a monthly basis. If you're not doing that, your accounts are bound to go into arrears because you've missed a payment. Once that happens, it affects your credit rating, it affects the score, it affects the entire credit profile on its own, because The moment there are arrears, it affects the score, and those arrears there are also giving you a bad name. When they say you are blacklisted, they basically mean that you can no longer have access to borrowing any kind of credit. Why? Because you have a bad record. That bad record is given to you by you skipping your payments. In a nutshell, that's what it is. So it's important for us to understand what it means to be blacklisted, It simply means that credit providers will reject you when it comes to loan applications. They won't approve you for any loans because you are blacklisted. It's basically something that negatively affects your credit score, which prevents you from qualifying for credit. That's what it means to be blacklisted. So the reason why people confuse this so much with debt counseling is because when you apply for the process of debt counseling, there's a red flag that gets placed on your credit report. It's a red flag right at the top below your credit score. So that red flag is basically just whoever, let's say for instance, you apply for the process today, because people do this, they go behind the debt counselor's back and they will go and apply for loans irrespective. Because at the end of the day, we do disclose, even the contract has the terms and conditions, and it does tell you that you can no longer be able to borrow any form of loans. So when you think, it's fine, they apply a debt review, but they ding imali, or apply a debt review, you get into a situation and then loan. Even though you are very much aware, ukuba also qualify, you apply for the loan, and some creditors will say you're blacklisted, but it's not being blacklisted, guys. Once there's a red flag on your credit report under debt restructuring, it means you have applied for debt counseling. So when you are under the process, you are still unable to have access to borrow. Because the whole point of debt review is to help you become debt free, while in the process of you getting to the freedom of debt, you are gradually paying your accounts consistently. You are managing to keep up with the payments. So you are not allowed to borrowing debt. That is why people have this misconception about when you are under debt review, it means you are blacklisted. No, that's not what it means. Being under debt review in general means that you will no longer be borrowed credit, because we are trying to help you get out of the current debt that you are struggling to pay. Then once you are on a clean slate, you are able to then and borrow loans again. I hope this is clear. That's basically what being blacklisted means. So on to point number 2. So point number 2 is basically the issue of how long are you blacklisted for, right? So once you've been blacklisted, you have a bad credit record for anything between 2 to 10 years. In South Africa, it's usually about 7 years or so, but it's typically between 2 to 10 years, depending on the type of listing you have against your name, right? But even after this period of time, a judgment can still be issued against your name if you have not paid the money that you owe. So a judgment is usually issued directly to the court. It's issued by the court, So your credit provider will basically inform the court, tell the court to send you a judgment because you're owing them X amount of money on a particular account. So a judgment is also a red flag, but instead of it saying debt restructuring, it will say judgment in red, guys. The fact that it's a red, iyamosha. Any judgment can stay on your name for up to 10 years. So just to be clear, blacklisting, can typically stay on your profile between 2 to 10 years, depending on the kind of listing that you have, because things like judgment do stick on your name for about 10 years, for as long as you have not paid off the amount that you owe. So that's that on blacklisting. We are now moving on to the actual process of debt counseling. Again, like I said, guys, please ningabi questions. I know that baninzi abantu beSouth Africa abamnyama abasokolayo, and things like black tax actually do get people in a state of being over indebted. because xa une-responsibilities ezininzi, because at the end of the day, you don't only have family to support, you have yourself to support as well. You have your own bills, your own responsibilities, and things like black tests can really get people over indebted because uphela uboleka payday loans okanye ungene koomashonisa ngapha nangapha because of the pressure of wanting to help ekhaya. Ngelinye ixesha uyi-breadwinner ke, there's no one else who's able to assist endlini financially, and the income yakho ufumaniseke uba yanele isiqu sakho. So for you to also meet your family halfway okanye ukwazi unceda ifamily yakho, you'll end up uboleki loans. So guys, yeah, please be careful. Please feel free to ask questions, and like I said, let's engage, because I would love, this is something, debt counseling is something I'm very passionate about, because kaloku iyanceda and it plays a huge part in our economy, guys. Because if sinoba ngabantu ababhatalayo amatyala wethu every single month on time, I know obviously it's impossible that we call payments ezingazophoswa at all, or people who won't struggle to pay. But what I'm saying is I don't feel like we are trying enough nathi. Because first of all, it starts with you being able to say no xa into ungayi-afford, yabo. And so many people get over indebted because they want to live above their means. Umntu umbona uba any salary ye-15,000 but ufuna uthenga i-BMW. Hayibo guys, ayenze sense financial. I-rent yona, i-Wi-Fi, i-contract ye-phone, because chances are ubhatala i-Wi-Fi, une-medical aid, une-cell phone contract, and all these other material things, you know. So be careful, guys. All right, then point number 3. When I keep saying we're gonna get into debt review real quick, but I just feel that I need to address is underlying issues surrounding debt review. One was being blacklisted. What does it mean to be blacklisted, really? Being under debt review does not mean you are blacklisted. It means you've applied legally for the process of a debt counselor helping you manage paying your debt, your arrears, as well as the interest, right? On a monthly basis over a period of time. And we also addressed how long does a blacklist stay on your name. Now, I just want to emphasize on something. Sorry, no punga. By the way, this is a cup yam that I got from the previous company where I worked. The 300 basically stands for about 300 South Africans that I helped under a process here debt review. Abanye babo ke guys sebene clearance certificates by now, but debt free, sebaphinda bathenga nemoto, and I'm very, very proud to say that I have contributed to saving abantu abaninzi financially apart from their houses being repossessed. Anyway, so I'm gonna into that. So as I was saying, another elephant in the room. There's a huge difference between debt counseling. Another word for debt counseling, guys, is debt review. Let's just get that straight. Debt counseling and debt review are the same. It's exactly the same thing, different names. It's almost like saying, instead of calling me Atenko or not, same thing. Now, ilandoza yona, consolidation loan, on the other hand, is not debt counseling. I do want to just clarify, the word consolidate simply means to put things into one. Consolidating is the process of combining a number of things into one. So when it comes to amatyala ke ngoku i-debt, there's two consolidations, there's two forms of consolidating amatyala eSouth Africa. Abanye abantu bathi ndifuna i-debt consolidation loan. Abanye baqualifyela i-debt counseling, which is debt review. Now guys, I need to elaborate on the difference between the two. I-consolidation loan, i-loan oyibolekayo to pay off onke amatyala wakho. Again, ndiyaphinda, it's one loan that you are borrowing, which you will use to clear, meaning paying off onke amatyala onawo phantsi kwegama lakho. Hence the word consolidate. Le loan i-one ikubhatala yonke into ityalayo. It consolidates all the accounts. Now the thing about a consolidation loan is that it's either uba uyibolekile le loan ebhankini, ibhanki iza kunika wena imali. It is your responsibility to go and pay off and settle amatyala wakho. Uba usheka ne-change, good for you. Some institutions or some creditors will pay off, they will grant you the consolidation loan, but they will be the ones to pay off amatyala wakho for you, bakunike change uyala loan if it can. I hope we are clear. A debt review, on the other hand, is a process where a debt counselor formally negotiates to reduce the monthly installments zakho and interest rates on all the accounts that you owe. That's the difference between the two. So we are going to go into debt counseling in more detail, because the whole point of this video is for me to educate you guys on a debt review. But I just really need, because when I was working as a financial advisor, or rather as a debt review consultant in the previous company, I had this biggest issue. One of the biggest challenges were consumers not understanding the difference. Umfonele uqoba zothi kuwe xa nidiscussa athi no, endifunayo mna yi-consolidation. Guys, debt review and a consolidation loan, zii-consolidations ezizoyi-2, because uku-consolidator is putting things, the process of putting things under one. So consolidating, whether yi-debt review okanye yi-consolidation loan, you are still consolidating amatyala wakho. I just need to be clear on that. The one which is called the consolidation loan means you are consolidating amatyala wakho in the form of borrowing one big amount to pay them off. Whereas a debt review, you are approaching a company that will assess you, and then if you qualify, you apply through that debt counselor, and they negotiate with your creditors to reduce installments and interest rates. Once the negotiations has been finalized, then when, as a consumer, the one that is owing, you basically start paying a one monthly installment, one amount. For example, you start paying only one amount, which is 3,000 rand. La 3,000 rand will be catered to all your accounts. So that is a form of consolidating. You are consolidating by paying one installment through a debt counseling company, and they distribute the money to all the accounts you owe. Whereas a consolidation loan, you've borrowed one big amount of money, you pay all the debt off, and the only loan that will remain under your name is the consolidation loan, which you have borrowed and used to pay off all the other debts. I hope that is clear. All right, so what is debt counseling, guys? Debt counseling is a process that was implemented in 2015 under the National Credit Act, Section 86, Act 34, right? And this process is formal and it's legal, and it was designed to simply help over-indebted consumers, people who are struggling to meet their monthly debt obligations. In other words, it's a debt relief program, basically. Inceda abantu who cannot afford to pay amatyala wabo, people who are struggling to keep up with payments. And what I mean by that is, because sometimes, guys, uyakwazi uba ngumntu owabhatala amatyala every month, right? Meaning that you're up to date, you are not missing payments, you are a good payer. But uyakwazi uba over-indebted, ube ungumntu who is paying regularly. Because being over-indebted means that le income yakho, le salary, ubhatala kwakho amatyala, you don't have enough money left to cover zonke needs zakho, basic expenses. That means that uyayidinga i-debt counseling xa ungumntu onjalo. So again, it is a legal process that was implemented in 2005 by the South African government to assist South African consumers who are struggling to keep up with their debt obligations, right? And the purpose of this process here, debt review, it is to protect abantu aba over-indebted against credit providers. Let's be clear. Credit providers are businesses as well. They need to sustain their businesses and also make a profit, just like any other company, guys. So e-creditors, they actually make money by charging us interest rates. The higher the interest, the more money or more profit for them. We understand? So, in other words, we as debt counselors, we bring debt counseling to protect you as a consumer from e-creditors. We do things like reckless lending investigation because we need to make sure that as creditors, zikuboleka imali uzawube nawo uzawukwazi afford. Because like I said, credit providers can even put you in a deep end as well. Bakfake in a worse position than you were in when you actually applied for the program, because they continue to borrow abandamajala even though they know what your affordability is. Because let's be frank, they don't really care about you. Yes, bakuboleka imali because uyayidinga, and at the end of the day, nguwe oziyele ebhankini woboleka loan kangobizwe. Some do advertise and actually say you qualify even though you're not needing the money, but because singabantu siyayithanda imali, you jump at taking the loan even when you don't know you don't need it. So do you see, sometimes it's a marketing strategy for them because they want people to borrow in order for them to make money as a business. So, and guys, let's be honest, a lot of you don't read. A lot of us don't even read contracts. We just sign. So you don't even know if we are overcharged by interest rates, or if you can afford, we are signing and now we are 30 mad. So as debt counselors, our duty is to protect consumers from credit providers as well. But let's move on. Okay, so there's, just to close off the video, there's a few points I would like to make regarding a debt consolidation, since we are discussing a review. I did mention earlier in Doba there are two types of consolidation plans in SA. A consolidation loan, but I didn't go into much detail about consolidation loan, because the thing is, abantu abaninzi prefer to choose a consolidation loan as opposed to debt counseling, because the idea of people just borrowing imali is clearly a norm, and people are so used to borrowing to solve. And guys, at the end of the day, it's a bad habit to borrow debt to pay any debt, because realistically speaking, you are not getting yourself debt free. You are not getting out of debt. It simply means if you're borrowing a consolidation loan to consolidate amatyala onawo, you are essentially replacing your current debt with a new big loan. So you are not getting out of the problem. You are using the new loan to pay arrears of the old accounts and to pay off the old accounts. What guarantee do you have that nagle consolidation loan you're not going to miss payment and do the same thing? So why not rather take a debt counseling that will discipline you and get you into the habit of paying and managing your accounts well until you become debt free? Imagine retiring ungena majala, guys. Because abazali bethu, they pay debt until they get to retirement age, and once they retire, they can't even enjoy their retirement annuity or their retirement savings. Now with those savings, they have to what? Go back and pay amatyala that they have had from their 30s. It's not a nice way of living life, and that's why siphuwe kangaka bethunana, because we are in a cycle of, we are not breaking generational curses. So the goal is to definitely break generational curses. I don't know everything. I'm here to learn as much as I'm here to educate. So a consolidation loan is actually much more expensive than a debt review, because it's a huge loan. Remember, at the end of the day, you are borrowing a loan to pay other loans. So the amount that you need will substantially be high. But besides that, it does actually get a very high interest rate. You get charged a very expensive interest rate. Some consolidation loans actually, interest is 24%, 25% for a consolidation loan. I think Old Mutual probably has the best interest when it comes to a consolidation loan. Last time I checked, I'm not too sure, but still it's expensive. And it's not only the interest. Remember, you are borrowing capital. If uboleki capital at 250,000, imagine what the interest rate is going to be on that. And let's understand something. If you are going to go and borrow a consolidation loan, it's only because you need that loan to pay other loans. And why would you need a loan to pay other loans if you are managing and affording to pay the current loans? Think about it. Because although most of you are running for a consolidation loan option, you already have arrears, guys. Your credit report or score is already in a negative position. It's not in good standing. So really, what are the chances that you will qualify for a big loan to settle these loans that you are already failing to pay? Think about it. It's common sense, honestly. But again, my common sense may not be someone else's common sense, which is exactly why I'm here to educate. So a consolidation loan, the interest is very expensive. Not just that, they also charge you service fees, they will charge you initiation fees. So can you imagine getting fees plus the high interest on top of the capital that you are borrowing? Whereas with an consolidation loan, is a long-term loan as well. Also zuyibhatale in a space of what, 2 years. A consolidation loan, i-term yayo is actually as long as a 10-year debt review, because you are borrowing a big loan, which is most likely a amount that you would be taking for vehicle financing, for instance, which will approximately take you about 5-6 years to pay off, unless you can afford to pay more than the installment that is required for you to catch up on finishing the loan quicker. So debt counseling, debt review is still the better option. Why? Because it's way cheaper, it's affordable, it saves you money, whereas a consolidation loan won't save you any money. Nalo change usenoyifumana after ubhatale ongamatyala ayizolasta loo mali, because uzayityapha emqaleni uyikhawulezise, because ayomali oyisebenzeleyo. Yeah, understand? So let's make better financial decisions and do more research. Don't just decide that you're going to take the option of a consolidation. So don't just decide you're going to opt for your option, your consolidation loan, when you have absolutely no understanding about the implications or how it works or how much it's going to cost you. Because again, it is not a cheap loan. And once again, what is the point of borrowing a loan if you are already struggling? Because I would like to think that you would not be looking for a consolidation for that matter if you are someone that is managing to pay the debt by yourself. So to be continued in the next video, I'm going to have a part 2 and possibly a part 3, because like I said, this is a serious topic that I feel all South Africans need to be educated about, more especially the Black community, which is the people that I am representing. Thank you.